Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cafecito Crew Gaming. Mig here, as always, and we have the full crew tonight. Beautiful. Whoa.
Oh god, there goes the freaking noise again, man.
I apologize.
I
Yeah,
don't.
we're working on that. We know it's a noise bug. We know that's not the actual sound that can come out of Brian's mouth, so we're working on that. We escalated that to our engineers, and they're on it. Okay.
Yeah, they've let us know that it's a very rare defect, so they've got to escalate the ticket, but it's okay.
I have a question.
We'll get through it.
Brian is our sound engineer.
Not really, though. Not really.
He's the only one that's qualified.
No.
I have a degree.
If I Google how to fix things, I'd be just as qualified. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. He actually has a degree. He busted his ass.
Burn.
We don't just
it's a
use
degree.
Google.
Third degree murder on our ears every time you say or make that noise.
You love the noise. The people love the noise. They ask.
It's
for it.
sacrilege. Who is people? Show me the people.
Our people.
Show me the receipts.
We haven't even opened our ASMR tiers yet. Can't you just wait for that?
I know. I'm too excited. I want to
The
give them
people
a
that
free
like are the
sample.
people that eat grapefruit.
You're giving it
I
away
wanna
for
eat-
free. What are you doing?
It's free real estate.
I'm already giving them
Buddha,
free
Buddha.
content. Because our fans are fantastic. They need to. They need to know about the. You know.
I love that pause.
No.
Our fans are fantastic,
What
so
an
they need
awkward
to.
pause. That was so odd.
Our fans are reading off teleprompter. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Oh, I told you the sign's upside down. Flip it around.
What I love, Brian starts talking, and halfway through, it's just like the dial-up AOL noise. Our fans just need to.
I'm still stuck in the Stone Age, guys. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Oh, well, we definitely have a lot to talk about other than that damn sound. So let's kick it off. And gonna hand it off actually to Gio because he probably had the most the busiest week of all of us because he got to go to Disney.
Yes. Yeah,
They took their
Ariana
money.
and I,
Exciting.
yes. Ariana and I had the opportunity to go to Disney. That's it. That's my week. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Nice.
Right? No, we actually went for it's like a special event that they do like once a year. I don't know if this was like the first year or if it was like the second year that they were doing it, but it's,
It was the first.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so I feel honored then to have gone. It's like a villains takeover. So like villains take over the park at night. It's awesome. Ariana, what did you think of it?
Oh, I thought it was really cute. Obviously I got to see my girl Maleficent. I love her to death. She was the main baddie.
Hades
And then
was the main baddie.
no, Hades got shown up by her at the last second. And then Dr. Facilier, which I did not see coming. I'm really happy to see Princess and the Frog finally getting the respect that it deserves. Very cute, lots of fireworks, lots of really artistic stuff too. Not artistic, but I guess like video stuff. I don't know, man.
Yeah, like
I
you know how you guys have been to Disney before. You know how like at night how they do their show where the fireworks go off and they have like images and stuff like that. So they use the entire castle for like a night show, and the villains literally take over the castle. It's like a 22-minute show. I have the whole thing captured on my phone, and I'm currently working on a video to show you guys, so you guys can see and experience the things, or at least the shows that we got to experience when we went over at Disney. Some of the other things that were super exciting about it was that there was exclusive like treats that you could try throughout the night that were themed around those people. So I know that some of my favorites was like Hades he had like spicy black bean buffalo chicken nachos, and he also had a pink lemonade slushy with a gummy worm, like the martini from the movie.
It was called like Hades Temptation, and then Hellfire Nachos was what it was called.
Right. And so
That sounds awesome.
yeah, our favorite part, to be honest with you, wasn't even that. It was the fact that with your park ticket, you got complimentary popcorn, complimentary ice cream, and complimentary bottled drinks the whole night.
Damn, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, like the whole. So we thought that it was like a one-time thing. You get your stuff and you're done, but no, it's like the whole night.
There's more.
Yeah, seriously. So like I think we got popcorn like 4 times.
No, we did not. You keep adding, and we only got popcorn once, but we got it
popcorn
twice.
like 5 times.
We didn't.
It was like 7 times.
You see the
It was
other
like
5
90
you got.
times. We cleaned them out.
Yeah, but
We
no,
cleaned
it
out
was,
the machine.
I felt like just like the complimentary water, soda, popcorn, all that stuff, like that and the show was worth it on its own. They also had. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say that like even though I didn't go, I watched the show on YouTube and the show was really really good.
Yeah, it's
Like the
amazing.
projections and everything they did.
There you go. That was the word I was looking for earlier, the projection.
English.
It was
is hard.
great. It is.
I
No,
will
yeah.
say that one song was pretty bad. The one that comes out for Jafar, that it's just Accra, Ba, Accra, Ba, and you're like, okay, you
Yeah.
couldn't have anything else.
Once I finish editing the video, you guys will understand what she's talking about. But no, it was super cool. Oh, they also had a giant robotic Maleficent walking throughout the whole park, breathing green fire.
No, it wasn't green fire. It was red.
It was green.
It was not green.
Well, I'm red-green colorblind, so for me, it was green.
It was not. It was just regular fire. It was really cool. She was like a steampunk dragon. You saw the gears and all the parts moving. Looked really rad.
Yeah, and the other thing that was kind of cool too was that I think it was like from like 10 to like in between the shows, they had a live DJ dressed up as like Dr. Facilier, just pumping out jams the whole night. It was awesome. And
It was nice.
they also had decorated 2 or 3 of the rides, and they changed some of them so that like even though, for example, like the Pirates of the Caribbean, I've written that ride like 4 or 5 times now, but in this time for villains, instead of Captain Jack Sparrow coming out to talk, it was Barbossa. So like the bad guy. In Space Mountain, normally like while you're at night, like in the shadows, you hear like the astronauts and people talking to you, and in this one it was the villains that they were smirking and laughing because they were throwing you and turning you in the dark. So it was a nice twist on some of the rides, and it was a lot of fun. Like I said, once
But
I'm
it was
done
only
editing the
2
video-
rides, to be honest. It was only 2 rides that were different, and like, I kind of wish they did a little bit more. Cause like the Barbossa thing's nice, but Barbossa literally comes out once, he talks some crap to you, and then he just, bye.
No,
Like,
yeah, for
"Arr,
sure.
arr, Captain Jack
But-
Sparrow, bye.
For the first year, it was kind of cool, and hopefully, like they do more things going forward.
Yeah.
But no, it was an awesome time, and if they do decide to do this next year, hopefully we can all go.
Yes.
Stop
I mean,
nudge me.
I co-sign.
You had me all the way at like alcohol, so. Hades alcohol drink.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Take my money.
Dude,
I
it
want
was-
3 of those.
It was delicious, dude. Imagine like in a giant martini glass like this big.
I mean, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
1 second later.
That was cool.
Hey, guess what? I can still hear you and talk. So I
Oops.
mean, you can say whatever you want, but I can hear it.
Get blown out of the water.
The new member of the team,
1
Ghost Ariana.
second
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, whatever. You leave me alone.
Man,
It's the owl perched on top of the chair communicating now.
For
See,
real.
this is the glass that the drink was in.
Oh,
Oh, you got to keep the glass too?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
to keep the glass, yeah.
And the
Fancy.
ears. The exclusive ears.
Oh, those are so nice.
It says Spellbound on one of the sides. Right here.
That's
They're
cool. They're
wicked.
They're
spooky.
Maleficent. Yeah.
It'd be cool to bring the Hocus Pocus crew during the villains night.
Yeah, there was a lot of things they could have done. Like, one of the things that I kind of liked was that when you were exiting the park, Gaston,
Cruella Deville.
yeah,
Where they
Gaston, Cruella Deville, Captain Hook, and I think
The
like,
three,
evil sisters
the
from-
stepsisters
Yeah.
from Cinderella and the mom, they were there before them, and then I guess they had to go on break, so they kind of switched out. They switched out to Gaston and Cruella Deville. So
Yeah, but
I
it
love
was a
Gaston.
lot of fun. It
What,
was a lot of
what a
fun.
weird break room that must have been. Like a
Yeah,
bunch
for
of
real.
like guys wearing Disney villain costumes, just like. So, how was your shift?
You just see Captain Hook like having a cigar, just like, yeah, man, it's another day.
Just another day. Don't fuck with that Barbosa guy.
That's terrible.
Wow. So, what about you, Brian? How's your week?
Uh, Pretty quiet, but this past weekend, I literally engrossed myself in Detroit Become Human, and I've gotten so far into the game that I had to replay certain storylines just because I didn't want certain things happening.
Which one is
And
your favorite android?
wow, it's hard because I like Kara, right? But I don't know. I like Connor. Like,
I was gonna say Connor is the fucking MVP. He is the best one.
nah. The MVP gotta be Marcus, though. I'm sorry. That boy literally somehow made his way inside. He touches people and he says one word, like 2 words. You are free. That's 3 words. Or
The real
three, or
MVP.
2 words and 5 syllables. However you want to count them.
The real
That's
Right?
MVP.
still three
is Coco.
syllables. You are free is 3 syllables.
Whatever. The point is the fact that the man will literally touch you like he was some sort of god. You're free. Hey, I need your help. This man said, yo, imagine that you had that power. You walk into class, you touch a professor. I need you to give me an A. A. What? You walk into your boss. I need a raise. Raise. Magic. You're rich. Please, me. Be next. Me.
Sir, you're out of warranty and you have to pay $4.99. Okay.
You took my power cable.
Jeez.
But so what else? And then there was a plot twist that, to be honest, like I was as just reading the story and based on decision that you make, you pick up on a lot of the plot lines right off the bat. One plot line that didn't really that sideswiped me was Alice the whole time.
Yeah.
I sincerely thought she was legit human. Is it a spoiler at this point, or is it too late for that?
I think it's too late, and also Detroit's been out for like a while, and I'm gonna be honest, the people that are interested in David Cage games, they're gonna get it like day one. That's just how it is.
This is
And
the
anyone that
first.
was on the fence just watch the playthrough like I did.
True. Well, yeah. Let's not get into David Cage right now. she's like, I can't wait. Like, I got my 2 cents in this right now.
What's
You're
wrong?
like
Fucking
Kanye
David
fucking
Cage.
Taylor
What's
Swift.
wrong with David Cage?
Everything.
Oh, here's Pandora's box.
Yeah, no, go. We're gonna go through everybody's day. I'm just gonna stay quiet because I know I'm gonna have a lot to say when it comes to games for
So
me.
you didn't like Heavy Rain?
Stop like poking the lion. You just want me to talk about it now. I'm gonna hold on. It's okay.
All right. Well,
Heavy
spoiler alert.
Rain?
Stop it, Gio.
Jason! Jason!
Okay,
Jason!
fine. Fuck it. Okay, fine. You guys make me feel it for Brian. I just really fucking hate David Cage. I think his games are really shitty. I will say Detroit Become Human gets the gold star for not as shitty of a game it could have been. But boy, howdy, Heavy Rain was a big piece of shit, so was Omicron. Also, Indigo Prophecy is pretty fucking terrible. And Two Souls? Trash. And that's it. There you go, Brian. I got it out of my
Basura.
system.
Okay, but what did you think about Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit is Indigo Prophecy.
Basically, just with another title, rebranded.
Yeah.
It is. But still, like, well, spoiler alert. There's no point in saying this point, anyways. But finding out that Alice was actually an android from the beginning, and from the whole time, is just like, what? Was I oblivious or was that obvious?
I feel like to some people, like a lot of, because some people said that they guessed it, like that I spoke about, but I didn't. Honestly, like I didn't see it coming until like it happened, and I was like, "Oh shit, son!" Like I was like, I was shocked when it happened. But
Oh
I'm also
shit,
very like I get
Jason.
emotionally invested.
Because she didn't have the little tracker on the side of her head. So usually that's how you tell the androids apart, right? Besides having their skin on, when they do have their skin on, the only time you can ever tell them apart is the little LED light on the side of their forehead.
Yeah,
So,
because they had those child models, they were able to turn it off to make
oh,
even
said again.
more. The child models have that feature able to be toggled off just to make them seem like even more realistic for
Yeah.
those people that wanted them.
So there you go. And then when you saw the other Alice, I mean, they keep hinting it off that something was wrong with her. I thought she was just going through some type of trauma, or like she's been like uh, touched in the no square. Because the way how her dad was and how they play that role in that house. So it was really good, and I'm in the last two chapters before, like, I'm just in the part where they attacked Jericho and the group just Marcus and the group just escaped. Um, I just got out with Kara and Alice, and Connor is like having like a serious breakdown right now with Amanda. So it's just like, and what I like about this type of game the most is the interactive controls. They literally put every button. Since I bought a PlayStation 4, I never had to use a trackpad until this game. And I'm just like, finally, a game
Wait,
that actually
you don't
lets
play
me
games
track.
with trackpads in it?
If that's a serious question,
Yeah, I play Pac-Man with a trackpad.
I mean, there's a reason why. It's because that trackpad sucks.
it does actually. The sensitivity is garbage. You can't even recycle that garbage. But
Shit.
Future topic for a show: worst parts of a controller in video game history.
we should have a segment for trash.
A
We just
trash
list
segment?
yeah. We just list trash things, and parts of it is the
David
controller.
Cage.
Number one.
Then it's Brian's webcam, number 2.
Wow. Then Brian's
Damn.
noise, number 3.
Then it's my headset.
But that was kind of like the highlight of my weekend, and I got this little guy. Wait, I want to bring her in. Hi, say hi, Shay. Look, Shay, say hi.
Baby.
No, she wants that headset. She want that. She want that mic. She's like, give me that mic.
Yeah.
Ain't no mic for you.
Hmm.
But that's about
adorable.
it. Come here, stay on your pillow. There you
Yeah, don't toss her over your head.
Oh, God.
go. Wink, wink.
Speaking of trash.
Speaking of trash, yeah.
Hashtag Elenity's trash.
I think that she should have at least like that 14-day ban, at
Can,
least.
wow. Can we talk about that real quick? Like how not the fact that she threw over the cat over her head. Can we talk about that Twitch refuses to do anything about it?
Hey, Maddie, your turn. We're live on Twitch.
Someone's
We're live on Twitch.
They're sending the hitman. Stop, Brian. Stop.
We're live on Twitch.
Hashtag
They're coming in.
Big Brother. All right. All right. Shh, shh. They're listening, so we're gonna talk about my week. So it's been pretty tame with me too. I had a couple of days off, so I've been having the pleasure of just like lounging around. And I recently started the ever-growing
Yes,
black hole
yes.
that is One Piece.
Yes!
Yeah.
Finally.
And like no,
I
do
don't know
not.
I don't know if you notice the collection.
I see it.
It's like all One Piece. except for
It's
like the top
beautiful.
corner. It's majestic.
I see it. It is
blurry
Makes me
majestic.
camera.
cry.
But I'm on like episode like 20 something or like 20 around there,
Oh
and
my
I'm just
goodness.
like so like I love it already. Like it's so wholesome, and like I like seeing the characters like grow even in this like short little amount of time, just seeing like
Yes.
Luffy like change and stuff, and I'm just like, what are they gonna get into? Because it's just like
Yes.
it's just the beginning. I just like got to the part where they got Sanji. Well,
Oh.
he
Oh
like they
my
haven't
god! Yes,
Oh.
like
that's like the
That's a
first.
good-
That's like the first moment.
Yes.
it's so good, but like it's they haven't like officially gotten him, but obviously they're gonna get him. But like I
Who-
love how he's
What do
like
you mean? As I look at a promotional poster that shows Sanji and the crew, no, they don't get Sanji. Who told you these lies?
and I love how they immediately too, like the second they show Sanji, they put him in like the intermediate wanted posters. I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. Like
No,
but
you,
he's in the opening too, so
no, they're wrong.
no.
Okay,
They
so
show
Yeah
creators
yo,
are wrong.
yeah yo.
so where exactly are you at?
It's the last part that I was where the big pirate man came and he was like starving. Krieg, I think his name was. Yeah,
Don
Krieg, whatever.
Krieg.
Don
Fuck
Krieg.
that dude.
He was. Yeah, he's an asshole. He was starving. He came and he's like, ugh! And then he like.
I like that description. That's how I describe
I
it
want to
too.
do I want to do a live action on YouTube of that scene.
Live action One Piece.
I want to have you play Don Krieg. Just like, you just like show up and it's like, eh.
He's like, I'm hungry, and then they give him the food, and then he's like, that's it, I'm taking over this bitch. And then he sees the head chef come, and the head chef is like not shook at all. He's like, okay, here's the food, we're not gonna cook it for you, but here's the ingredients. And then he's like, oh, it's you, Zeph, whatever. And then that's
like Zeph.
yeah, and then I started watching the next episode, but I fell asleep, and that's where I am at now.
Oh my
That's
God.
100% fine. I'm so excited, Maddie. We need a day. We need a day to watch it together. I want to so bad.
I agree, a binge.
Okay, so then so far, who's your favorite crew member?
Did you see the lights just get kidnapped? My favorite character
Okay.
is it's hard. I don't know. I feel like even though he's the first, like he just got introduced, but I feel like I like Sanji the most so far. But I also really like Zoro because Zoro is like he's such a wholesome, like his backstory is really wholesome, and like it was so sad. I just like I cried when he was at the dojo. I was just like,
You're in for such a ride, Maddie.
I know.
I'm laughing because I feel like me and Maddie have one brain cell between us and we share it. Because your exact feelings you're having right now is how I felt when I started One Piece. So I'm just listening to you and I'm like, did you take the brain cell today?
it's like
Was it your turn?
It was her turn to borrow it.
it
I don't
was.
know-
It's
I
my
don't know
turn.
what it is, man. Like I don't hate Sanji. I just never. I don't know. I just never got the appeal.
I love that he just wants to feed anybody that's hungry. Like I like that he knows that feeling, and I like that he's like noble enough to not deny anybody food. Like he's like, no, you're a customer if you're hungry. You're not a customer if you have money. You know, like I respect that.
Oh,
Facts.
right, because you're pre. Gotcha. No.
I'm pre him being an
Yes.
asshole.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not an asshole. It's
Well, like being snippy.
He
We don't know.
Like the whole thing is like he never becomes an asshole. Like if you're gonna do that, babe, like you might as well explain because you're just
No.
like
Don't tell me.
dancing around it. But like
It's okay,
he never
we'll
becomes
dance.
an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
We'll
not
dance.
an asshole.
I don't. I will. I'll find out.
He's
But
not an asshole. He's
besides,
just not my favorite.
we'll see. I'm sure that I'm so early on. I feel like I don't have a favorite yet, but those are the ones that I'm liking so far. I can't call anyone a favorite because I'm so like early on invested. Also, Usopp is precious and needs to be protected.
Yes.
He's a good
Oh,
boy.
okay.
Yes.
He's
Joey,
such a
yes.
good
share the
boy.
brain
Yes.
cell.
You get the
We don't
snaps.
share the brain cell, I guess.
But he's
Because I
so
can't
sweet.
stand.
It's
I
okay,
can't
Maddie. We
stand
share,
Usopp.
we share the brain cell. I got
He's a
you.
little rough around the edges, but he's a great boy. Listen, when he, with the boys, with the young boys, it was so wholesome. And then like how he just wants he's like, no, it needs to be a lie. Like the village needs to have their normal day, and they need to just think it's a lie. And I'm just like, oh,
Look,
He's
I'm
a good
telling
boy.
you,
I love
the whole
that. Like
show-
anytime a character's like slightly wholesome, that's it. Maddie's like,
Okay, no.
I'm sold.
Time out, though. Time out. I'm gonna look at you straight in the face. Okay. Apart from the few characters that we know, who isn't wholesome? One Piece, the whole show is wholesome. I love this.
Panda Man.
The-
Panda Man's not wholesome.
The pirate lady in the beginning.
Shit. Hey, you leave Beppo alone.
No, I'm not talking about Beppo. There's a man. This is not a spoiler. So Oda puts this man in the background for you to spot him. It's almost like Where's Waldo. He has a panda head and big muscles.
I think I'm gonna look for him now.
You'll find them. I think it starts after where you're at. Like it starts becoming like a trend.
A thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But continue. I'm sorry. I get excited.
No, it's okay. I get excited too. I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm upset at myself for not starting it sooner, but I'm glad that I'm on the ride. But besides One
Finally.
Piece, I know it's exciting. Everyone
I
gets
can't
hyped.
wait- I can't wait to start meeting the other characters, and you're gonna love the female leads that they have in there, bro. They're like the most badass characters in there.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited.
So now
But-
the real question.
Apart from Girl.
The real question.
I have the ants in my pants.
So Miguel, when are you gonna start One Piece?
Do
You know
it.
what? Okay, find me a character. Find me a character I can get into, and I'll try.
Bro, there's so many.
No, I don't
It
want to
is
hear
very
that.
good.
I don't want to hear that. 'Cause first of all,
From the
you're-
beginning, I think from the beginning you'll like Zoro.
Yeah.
Sanji's hit or miss. You're gonna love Luffy. Luffy's a great main character. Like he's a 10 out of 10 stellar boy. Like that
Monkey
is
D.
the
Luffy.
wholesome boy. Here he comes.
You know, I think he's gonna like Shanks too.
I think Shanks and Ace is gonna be his like go-tos.
Shanks is cool. I like Shanks.
Yeah.
He's a cool man.
Oh my god, you saw that when he's like in the ocean, and then, whoop, there goes my arm.
Oh my
It's
god.
Also, Migs, do you like comedy?
Yes.
No.
Because there's a lobster bazooka in that show, and that's all you need. That's all you need in your life.
You see,
Have you seen this man's face?
Ari gets it. Ari gets it. See, I'm sold.
Also, early
Lobster
episodes of
bazooka.
One Piece were not colored correctly, so there's a man that has blood on his shirt, but it's colored yellow, so it just looks like a big mustard stain.
Oh god, I need to look out for that.
Oh, you already passed it. I can show you where it is.
I want to see that.
Wow.
Oh
pretty
yeah,
great.
and
Yeah,
another thing
'cause-
too. One Piece is also known for their outrageous sizes. There's a guy who's like 10 foot something.
Yeah.
My
there's
favorite
Randomly.
character is 16 feet tall.
and there's
He can
also
crush me.
clown nose men.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, Buggy.
He's wholesome.
I love Buggy. I love him so
I-
much.
I don't love him yet.
Or you will.
I like him a
You
little
will.
bit from his backstory, but like,
Yeah. So
All right.
One Piece has a nice way of just like tying everything.
plucking you
together.
in the hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wait,
that,
what?
that went from 0 to 100 real
Yeah,
quick.
that went from
Wait,
wholesome
wait.
to
All right,
What did you say?
We-
all right,
we went from
Maddie. What else
wholesome to
happened
what?
this week? And we're just gonna glance on by that. We're gonna walk away quickly.
Okay. But besides that, besides getting into a 800 episode adventure, I also started playing Fire Emblem Three Houses yesterday, and
Mhm.
oh, fucking boy, Tres Magnifique. Okay, it is so good. I'm like pretty early on, but all my impressions to say it's incredibly stellar. One thing I will say, my one complaint, I see the game has been getting a lot of 9.5 ratings. They would have the 0.5 that they're missing is because you can't pet the animals. If they introduce animal petting, it would be a solid 10 across the board. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
The only nitpick I have, because I've also played it, just to jump in, has been your character. Okay, so in previous Fire Emblems, Corrin and Robin, they're their own characters, right? Like they have their own thoughts and emotions. You kind of pick choices here and there that influence them, but they're characters. This new one, Baylith, I think is their name.
Like,
They don't talk. They don't have anything. So sometimes a scene comes out and they're like, Professor, you look upset. And you look at the character and they have just... and you're like, well, I mean, I guess this is my like choice where I get to decide how I feel. So I'll put no, I'm ecstatic. And they're like, no, you're really upset. And I'm like, how am I supposed to know how this character feels when I just see in the corner? But that's the only thing. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm too hype. I'm gonna mute myself.
No, I agree with that though. I feel like they almost like acknowledge that because they'll be like, "Teach, why does your face look like that?" or like things like that. So I feel like they acknowledge that. I don't know. Maybe it's because she hasn't had human interaction her whole life, besides with like Geralt or like he, if you're playing the guy. But
He's just
I
a
don't know.
feral baby.
Yeah, maybe she will evolve into her emotions because I feel like the other characters do have like that sense of emotion and they do have like, like more like animated facial expressions at times, especially I love Bernadetta. That's my baby. She must be protected in her room. But the game's really good so far. I'm still pretty early on, but I already know that I'm gonna like stick with this because I'm super, super addicted. As soon as we hang up, that's what I'm gonna do.
So let me ask you a question for for all the viewers and anyone who hasn't played any Dragon Age game.
You mean Fire Emblem?
That's the point I'm making. That's literally the point I'm making.
I love the confidence, man. You sat there and you're just like, yeah, so, any,
Dragon Age.
Anybody who hasn't played Fire Age Dragon Quest, what should we expect?
No, but I should respect. What game would you recommend them playing? Should they play Three Houses right off the bat? Or would you tell them to play a different Fire Emblem game to catch up with the story?
There is no story. Like, each game is its own story. So you don't have to worry about it. You can jump straight into Three Houses if you want. I recommend Awakening just because Awakening is a little bit easier and the story is really, really good.
Give me back my brain cell.
Exactly. Oh, here you go. You can continue, Maddie. There you go. It's going to you.
Awakening is another really good one I was gonna say. That's the first one that I played.
That was also the first one I played. There's some of the older ones that are really stellar. The thing is that I haven't had much experience to really recommend. I can honestly say skip Fates. You're not missing much. Fates was a lukewarm experience across the board. Not bad, not good. But Awakening or Three Houses, jump into either one. You're gonna have a good time.
Nice.
I agree.
As long as I get to play Ike, I'll be happy.
Ike is a different game, my dude. He actually has his own game. I think it's Radiant Dawn. I think. I don't remember these titles. There's too much Radiant this and Radiant that.
Hey, so you guys that played it, who's Byleth?
Oh, that's the main character's name. Like, before you name them, their name is just like Baylith.
Blythe or Baylith. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Blyth, I think.
Yeah,
Byleth. Byleth. I thought it was Blythe. I'm like, this sounds like a disease. I'm changing this name.
It sounds like a disease.
You've caught the Blythe.
I just named her Crow.
I named mine Esme.
What was the name of the game that you said that Ike had his own?
It's not Radiant Dawn, because I just looked it up. Radiant Dawn is the other one.
But he is in Fire Emblem.
Google what game Ike in.
Yeah, he's in one of the GameCube games. Like, it's old. It's like, forgive me for not remembering.
Make sure you Google it like a caveman, too. What game Ike in?
Path of Radiance is the game that Ike is in.
Hey, please, boss, what game Ike in for me? I fly.
And Radiant Dawn as well, apparently.
Oh, I guess. I thought he wasn't, because I saw the girl on the cover, and I'm like, no, this is the other one.
Yeah. In Smash, they gave him several different costumes depending on the game that he was in. He was dressed and looked completely different.
Yeah, your options of young Ike or old Ike.
Yeah, pretty much.
And many costumes.
And
Have we missed anyone's week?
In the game.
I was gonna say, Maddie, what house did you pick for Three Houses?
Oh, that's true. I didn't even mention that. We got so hype about everything else.
Yeah.
That one brain cell's a little hard.
Exactly.
It is.
I picked Claude. I picked the House of the Golden Deer. A lot of people I've been talking to have been saying that they're picking like their least favorite house
Oh my
first to then
god.
play their best one last. But I want to pick my favorite one first. And I off the bat really liked his personality, that he was like very like kind of like aloof and a little bit less formal than the other
Yeah.
ones. But besides, if I didn't pick him, I was gonna pick Blue. The Blue Rose.
Blue
What was it?
Lions.
Blue
The Blue
Lions. I'm thinking
Lions,
Blue
which is
Rose.
what
I'm like,
I
that's Black Clover.
no,
But
I picked yeah.
Wrong show.
exactly. But the Blue Lions, Dimitri's also a very nice boy.
I'm gonna have to change our
So
quests now.
okay. But
So now Ari's week.
yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
quickly
wow.
finish up with Fire Emblem, and then I'll go into Dragon Quest. Which, Ryan, I'm gonna say you gotta play Dragon Quest 11. I picked Blue Lions because I knew Maddie had picked Golden Deer, and I thought it would be fun that maybe we could talk and see like the differences.
Mhm.
With the Blue Lions, what I like kind of so far is like everybody kind of seems to have known each other or have been close to each other, like at childhood, like in some way, shape, or form. And I also like it because like, depending on who you talk to, someone will be like, Dimitri is the best. How dare you even think that he's not the best? And then there's like another character that's like, yeah, Dimitri's a huge asshole. I hate him. And you're like, wow, I don't know how to feel. So you slowly like unravel this like little mystery around the character. It's pretty good.
The gossip.
Yeah, it's literally just everybody just gossip, 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 gossip. It's Gossip Girl up in here.
It's Gossip Girl,
So-
Harry Potter, and like
Yeah. It's a teenage drama and angst, and then Gossip Girl, and then Harry Potter all mixed in one.
and Wyvern riding.
Yes. Pegasus as well. Um. So my week, I went to Disney, but before I went to Disney, this is like the only thing I have outside
Whoa,
of
holy
three houses.
shit! You went to Disney?
Yes.
No way.
Shut up. But I got to the halfway point of Dragon Quest. Let me tell you, Dragon Quest is phenomenal. It is a great RPG. If you've been wanting a modern JRPG akin to maybe Final Fantasy X/9, like you can't go wrong with 11, with Dragon Quest 11. You just can't. The gameplay is fantastic. I kind of like that they do something similar to 10, where everybody kind of has, let's say, like a spear grid, or like a grid where you can gain access to skills and stuff. But within that, like, they kind of have their select roles. Like, you'll have a caster, and she can kind of be split between healing or DPS, and that's your choice. You can make the character however you want. There's no right or wrong. There's like another character who, you know, naturally she gains healing abilities, but you can get abilities that will prevent elemental damage, or you can just turn her into a spear user and say, F it, I want her to do damage. Like, that's really neat to me because I like that freedom. Outside of that, I can't go into too much detail because I really, really want Brian to play this game. Is you get to a halfway point and everything changes. Like, the beginning's so classic JRPG. It's happy-go-lucky, finding the friends. It even has like the dumb, we gotta go and collect orbs of all the different elements, guys. And then halfway point, boom, everything's different. It's great. It's fantastic. And that's it. I'm sorry. I go away now.
I give brain cell to Maddie again.
Man, so my week was interesting, but I actually want to go back to talking about what you guys were talking about because in God, this story sucks now that I know this. So I mentioned Byleth because the voice actor that does his voice, Chris Niosi, he got fired from the job essentially, and they recasted him with another voice actor. And it looks like it got pushed through in the update just before the game came out, or maybe even in the last couple of, like maybe 48 hours ago. I can't get a clear definition on this researching the stories, but essentially, like, it's multiple accusations by former friends and girlfriends about abuse.
Mm,
And it sucks because it's not even Byleth that bothers me, even though it would once you play enough and you get more attached to your main character. Man, we're talking about a really good like series of years this guy has had. So he was Shia Poof in Hunter x Hunter.
mm.
And I just
I
finished
never-
that series. God, that was good. He was Karna in Fate
The
Apocrypha.
the ending got me mad. But
Yeah.
continue.
So he was Karna in Fate, and that means he was Lancer of Red. That was a major character. Uh, by the way, Mob Psycho, he's Arataka.
Oh,
Oh,
I didn't know that.
that's
And
bad.
and even more recently, Sword
I
Art.
watched the sub of Mob Psycho, so I did not know this.
Ugh. And then Sword Art Alicization, he's Volo. And Volo's the dude that he ends up sparring with. That was supposed to be the number one seat, and he loses that final fight before graduation, and that's just before they become the heads of their teams.
Mhm.
And so, damn, this guy's been in a lot of stuff. Fairy Tail, he's Rung in Fairy Tail. Like
Who?
Rung. I would ask you to look it up if you don't know. It's too much to explain right now. But it's like he's got major roles in all these shows. It sucks. Oh,
That's a lot.
damn
of-
you, Chris! Don't abuse people, verbally or physically, please.
I mean, to go with that, I think Ruby also announced their new voice actor for Crow. Because it was, I forget his name. It was
Vic
Vic
Mignogna.
Mignogna. Yeah, and he also had accusations against him, so they announced that new voice actor as well, which is going to be hard because he voiced so many characters of my childhood that I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I always think of like Edward Elric and also Tamaki from Oran High School Host Club, and it makes me so upset because I'm like, you are a talented man, and but this inexcusable.
Mm.
The creeper status is just too much.
And this is
This
like
actually
the
has been-
same thing. Oh, go.
It's been a weird year for actors and getting fired from jobs or losing their like prominent voice roles. Forget about the Yakuza guy too. There was the one guy who was playing one of the prominent roles in Yakuza that got fired too. But
Oh,
his was
yeah.
for cocaine, and then at that point,
That's pretty accurate for a Yakuza. Honestly, maybe he was just getting into the headspace of the character.
yeah, he could be method acting.
They should
but
have
then-
given him a raise. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
That's
but,
terrible.
at the same time, he wasn't hurting anybody. He's hurting himself, sure, but like then get him rehab maybe instead of
Yeah.
like
But
just throwing
this-
him under the bus. The story, oh.
The thing is that if you read the oh my god, the article for the Yakuza guy, the problem is that Japan takes a very strict stance
Oh
on
yeah,
drugs
for sure.
and actors with drugs, which is why like he was fired really fast and replaced almost immediately. Like they in that article I read, I have to find it. They even talk about like the comparison of like, well, in America, if this happened, like yeah, he'd be
It's
fired,
like everybody-
but no one. Oh, go.
Oh no, I feel like in America, like it's like almost like common for people to think actors are doing things like that. It's goes to
And
show.
they're not?
Yeah. Pierre Taki was his name. Oh, he did Olaf for Frozen, and then that
In
means
Japanese.
unfortunately he was in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh. Oh.
Cocaine in my Disney game.
Well, I mean,
I
he's
knew
already
that's
made
not
of snow, if you know what I mean. Wink.
Oh no.
That's
That's
really
not
nose
snow.
candy.
That's blow.
So my week. Sorry, side tangent, but I needed to mention it because damn, that was weird. So I found my new crack. I moved on from the Messenger. Fantastic game. Finished it. Great. Go play it. I found a new one. I found my new crack. Slay the Spire. So Slay the Spire is a card-based. It's a deck-building dungeon crawler.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Oh
it
my
is.
god!
It is
You
so
like
good,
dungeon
isn't
crawling.
it?
So let's say you have 2 or 3 enemies you run into, and they're not even. You get to know what they're doing right off the bat. So your turn starts. You know this guy's attacking. This guy's gonna debuff me, and this other guy's gonna attack me too. So you have your hand of 5, 6 cards, and you go, okay, well I'm gonna defend, to block this amount of damage, and I'm gonna attack this one guy. And you have to just continue down that path. And the interesting thing about it is that it gets so much more complicated than that, where you start channeling orbs, you start channeling more energy, because you're only allowed 3 energy per turn, and each card has a value in the top left corner. And those values go up to 6. The only reason I know that is because for the first time yesterday, I decided to play the daily mission. And bro, that mission was incredible. They unlocked everything for you. They're like, you know what? Here's the best of the best of the best. Go play with it. The combinations, Duke. The combinations.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
literally
God.
Endless. It's literally
Yeah, dude.
endless.
It is endless. And there was this one card I kept trying to play, but the conditions for it are so crazy. It deals 56 points of damage to the entire field,
Jeez.
which would pretty much insta kill anything except for like a boss. But even then, a boss, you're talking about like a quarter of their health, which is a massive hit. But the condition is that you have to consume your entire deck. So the deck that they gave you had all these cards in there to just keep drawing and discarding, and they were 0-point cards, so they weren't taking up any of your points in your turn. And then you had your channeling, so you can have more points in that turn, so you can draw other cards that do use points, but can draw more cards. And I got one card away from using it. Oh my God, I wanted to use that card so bad.
Yeah, I really like this game. Like, this game has it's balanced. Like, I'm surprised how well balanced.
Insanely balanced.
Like, and also too, like, every time you traverse I haven't played it in a while, but every time you traverse a floor, you get new upgrades and new toys that you get to put in your deck. And you constantly get to edit your deck, change the cards, to change like the combos that you can do. Like, it's a lot of fun.
It's crazy because I was thinking so much between turns when I got to this, because you have your one hero at first that he's your regular guy, so his deck is more like balanced. Then you get another guy that's more about channeling, and he becomes super difficult to use if you don't get the right cards and you don't throw away the right cards, because there's another problem where you maybe get too many cards. So by your second or third dungeon, you run out of steam because you have these like cards that are kind of like pointless for the strategy of that character. And so I would go back to that first guy and play him again, and 4 hours go by, I'm like, oh my God, I'm still playing Slay the Spire. it's so good.
Yeah, it's a real good game. And the music's fantastic too.
It's like you look at the clock, it's like 1 in the morning. Like, what just happened?
I also went by another friend's house and we played a board game called Gaia Project. That game, Gio, if you can pick it up, I don't mind streaming that like a whole day. It will take a good 3-4 hours per playthrough, but man, so you got 12 races to pick from, and the whole game is a balance of economy and building and conquering planets. Each planet has a specialty for each race, and so you can build on those planets without cost. But the idea is to build on other planets and also to terraform these purple planets into green lush planets so that you can, expand your territories. And the cool thing is that you have your set amount of money and your set amount of ore and materials, and you play a turn. Once you exhaust as much as you think you can exhaust of those materials, or maybe you want to hold back, and that's part of your strategy, save up, and then let the other guys go bankrupt so you can attack the next turn. But each turn they have cards. There are essentially missions. Hey, terraform this planet. If you terraform a planet, you get 5 bonus points. And so you get scored based on mission points. You get scored on the amount of territories you get at the end. So 18 points for first place on who owns the most territories, 12 for second, and 6 for third. It is a multiplayer game, so you can have up to 6 players, which means some players might not get points there. Or it can get super competitive, and you might be splitting points in those categories. So I played my first game. I think you met Daniel before, and I do want to get him in on our board game stuff when we get a chance, because he knows a lot about board games too. He told me like the average score in a game like that for like a new guy would be like 45. I got 81, and I still lost by like 43 points. So these guys are well. They both had played before. It was a 3-player game, and they both played this game 3 or 4 times. So they're more knowledgeable than I am. I was asking a lot of questions, which, in in hindsight, obviously was leaking my strategy, but it's fine because I was learning. So I'll take the double point on average thing as a victory. But damn, I want us to play that game because that game has potential to be like. There's a lot of haterade in that game too. Don't get me wrong, but it's like at least
Just taking
Oh
stuff
my
from each
god,
other
dude,
always causes fights.
just hearing you being excited about this game makes me want to introduce you to Scythe. Like I'm
Oh.
looking up Gaia Project now because yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. But dude, I really want to play Scythe with you. Like
I love Scythe.
do it.
Scythe is another. Ariana likes to like have this imagery of like imagine you're playing Harvest Moon, right? Where it's like you got your farmlands, you got, you know, you're cultivating like different.
Is it a dating sim too?
Yeah.
Yes, for birds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pigeons.
It's a
Titleful
dating sim for
Boyfriend,
Max,
Harvest
guys.
Moon, and Gears of War combined.
Actually, you know what?
You're not wrong.
You're not
You're
far
like,
off. You're not far off the beaten path, bro.
you see, the
Wow.
thing is that you'll be farming,
I thought
and
that was a
then
reach.
suddenly a mech will come by, and you're like, ah, yes, comrade.
Yeah. So in Scythe, you play like different. You play different clans, and every clan has like a different like ability that you can use, and so every turn you're either moving somewhere or you're cultivating the land that you're on for resources, but you don't get to use those resources. You leave them there. And then in future turns you can use those resources or you can invade other people's areas and try to steal the resources from them. Eventually your clan gets so big that you start to build mechs and you can start moving around the board. Like it's a crazy game.
So the thing that he forgot, because this is like a special ability my character had, for example, the race that I was playing, is the reason why you need to build mechs is because everything's really surrounded by water, and normally, unless you're like a special clan, you can't walk or swim through that water. You need a mech. And then your mech has different things and stuff like that that they can do that are special. Like there's some mechs that are like, hey, I can move faster in water. There's some mechs that are like, hey, I don't need to like worry about certain terrain and etc. etc.
Yeah. And the game in this one scores very similar based off of like the achievements that you do throughout the game. And so, you know, there's a game for, you know, building all of your villagers. There's one for building all of your mechs. There's one for fighting twice. So the game that you were talking about reminded me of Scythe. So if you're excited for Gaia Project, dude, I can't wait to see you play Scythe.
Nice. I think like the other things I was doing. Oh yeah, obviously I was still putting some time into Metro. That it has a pacing problem, and if you want to see me go off on the game, the last 20 minutes of part 9, I believe, which is the last episode I recorded, go watch that. It explains the game in a microcosm.
You
Like-
literally paused the game and you just went on a whole rant for
But
those
my
20
rant
minutes.
was shorter than the biography that was spoken to me
Facts.
about the story.
Facts.
Really? It went that sour?
It's like you're at the top of a beautiful tower. It's like you're in the middle of a forest in this church, and you find out that this teacher that everyone has been talking about in the region is dead, and you find out why he's dead. And it's not that it's a bad story, but it's that teacher, and they just stare at you. She stares at you, and she like shimmies, and then she folds her arms, and she's like, and you're like, okay, I think she's done. And I'm literally saying this in the stream. All right, I think she's done. I'm about to move away. I turn, and she starts talking again. I'm like, she does that 4 more times, and then that's when I paused, and you'll hear the rest of my rant. Then please go watch that. I think it's worth noting that the game is still a good game, but it definitely, it's like a 6.5, 7, and all the deductions is pacing, because the game works the best when it puts you in a linear situation. Once it goes open world and it puts you in these weird ass conversations, like you kind of like it just hits the brakes on its own momentum. It's crazy to me how they thought that was a good idea. Even the way they developed the game, like it feels like the first half of the game was developed a certain way, and the second half they switched teams or switched maybe creative directors or something, and they went a different route trying to tie together that part, but not the same way. If that makes sense. So like that
Yeah.
very first intro, when you play the game, you're on a train, you're watching literally the events of like what happened before Metro. You're on a train, you see the nukes dropping, you see the people crying, hiding, dying. You see the wars between humans as a result. It was a beautiful, beautiful cutscene, and there's never a cutscene after that. There's not a single damn cutscene in this game, and that's where they fucked up. They fucked up because they wanted you to have the game playing in engine the whole time with these giant conversations between multiple people, and at first it felt like very homey, like very like almost like a family was talking to each other, and that felt good. But then when it came to this situation where it's 1-on-1, and that group of people isn't there to fill in the blanks, and then there's these empty pauses. Ugh, there's all the momentum.
You sound excited for the second game.
No, this is the last game. This is the third game. So
Yeah.
this is pretty much it. I've been told that this is pretty much it. I get off of this tower and I go to the end game. So Tuesday, I want to finish this shit. You'll see it live on Facebook and twitch.tv/Cafecito Gaming. Also, if you want to see what Gears looks like, we finally got in the beta yesterday. Actually, really impressive. A callback to the classic multiplayer. Everything still works, but it's so much smoother. I can get 100 frames a second, and I can roll into guys and shotgun them into pieces. And
Wall bounce.
that's what the game was supposed to be about. I did run into some like fully built teams that are obviously here training for the real thing when it comes out, and those guys steamrolled me. But I can appreciate it because it wasn't cheap. Like everything had a reason to it. I ran in too early. I picked the wrong path. When I started slowing down in those moments and started to be more like guerrilla tactics with them and maybe picking one off and drawing them towards me, that's when I saw more success. And so I would say if you're like a loner player, to try to go with something like that, try to support your teammates. If they look like they're a disaster, then just go for the flanks and stuff. I mean, it's like whatever other multiplayer shooter there would be, except
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something beautiful about a perfect reload, about a chainsaw bayonet duel. Like those things are awesome to me. So that's something that still no other shooter does. And as long as they maybe get the story on the right path, which I'm sure they learned the same lessons that Microsoft learned from like Halo 4.
Oh, for sure they did.
Oh god, Halo 4 was a fucking mistake.
And Guardians as well. Like I think as long as they learn those same lessons, they'll get the story on the right path. And
And
it's
ODST.
been long enough, and the game feels super polished. Even the tutorial is making me laugh because the little robot, it like
Jack.
actually kills you. Yeah, Jack kills you on purpose to showcase how healing works as a
Yeah.
mechanic. And so that was pretty funny to me. So it's good to also see that they didn't lose their sense of humor in that. They still have good banter and stuff. So I'm excited.
I haven't been excited for a Gears of War game since like Gears of War 2. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh,
I gave up on the multiplayer since Gears of War 3 because they had this whole bug issue where if that you get locked out and stuck in rank 1. No matter how many ranked games you've played of 1, you will stay stuck in rank 1. And unfortunately, it happened to me. I was so frustrated and had to find this out because there was a series where I was playing with my friends who all were rank 5, and we won game after game. And I'm looking at my scoreboard. I'm just like, everything's going up, but my rank stays at 1. And I looked it up, and it was a glitch for multiplayer, and I'm just like, I give up. I'm frustrated because
you just didn't play the right character. You didn't play the Coltrane, baby.
I play as Scrog, and I destroyed everyone.
Cole wasn't playable for this beta. My only deductions. You had Old Man Marcus, and you had like the new wave, but you didn't have him, and I was like, oh, but come on.
But did they have the trash man, Danny DeVito?
Always.
That's the greatest
It's a
character.
skin.
Yeah,
It's a skin.
I throw garbage all across the arena, and I eat trash.
His weapon is a trash can.
Exactly.
I'll pay for the DLC to see that.
Yo, me too. Take my money.
But yeah, I guess one little blip. The Expanse. The Expanse is awesome. 6 episodes in, I know this is gonna be a great show. It's done more than even Battlestar Galactica to get me hooked. And Battlestar Galactica never had a problem with the core story or even the beginning. It was just the end. And so that's all I'm hoping for with the Expanse is that the end's good. But like these 6 episodes, the character development, like the dynamics, like everyone's motives, like they're all out there already. It's awesome. Just like, and I didn't know how Sci-Fi got these actors either. They're like really good actors in this show. Can't remember any names off the top of my head because they've been in so much that like it just kind of becomes a mess. I know one guy's from like Mr. Deeds, for example, but that's not paying him any respect. The guy from Chernobyl is in that show. He's a mob boss in that show. The Chernobyl doctor, the British dude, like he's in this show and his role is super cool. I appreciate him 1,000% because he's a mob boss, but it's like he had to explain how he had to make a hard decision that lost a family member's life, and it was just like, oh, damn, I don't have the balls to do that. It's like this guy is obviously desperate enough to do whatever is necessary to win, and so everyone has those motivations. So I think that's what's cool about it.
It sounds really good. Because usually I hear a lot of people say in the beginnings of shows that it's hard to watch in the beginning. That's like a comment that you'll hear in a lot of shows, but to hear that it's like really strong from the beginning is a good sign.
Oh no, yeah, and so yeah, Thomas Jane is the detective. Like the funny things is that when I see actors like him, he's been in so much crap, but I remember him as the vegan police from Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
this is how my demented mind works. Oh, he's one half of the vegan police.
Where's the other second half?
But he's also from Hung, the HBO show, right? That show not for guys. It's more of a girl show. So I'll let you guys watch that because it's about a guy having a big dick. So I'm not gonna watch that.
Hence the title.
I'm here for found family stories only.
She likes only PG stuff.
Exactly. That's when I watch Watership Down and I get scarred for life because that's rated PG.
Oh my god.
Yeah, PG stands for Pepino Gigante.
Pepino. It's like Italian man, like, oye, Pepino.
Yeah, abrazando a un pepino.
Why?
Why'd you have to
sing
do
the
this?
Song?
No.
Do it with the fingers.
Don't make me laugh.
You know who also does this? Argentinians. Don't know why. What's this?
They usually do it because it looks like the form of a nutsack, and they're calling it boludo, which is like slang for a nutsack. They're literally calling you a sack.
I don't know why.
Somebody touch on my spaghetti.
Boludo, you touching my spaghetti.
Somebody touching my sack.
Pinche.
Boludo, don't touch my pepino, okay?
Oh my god. What a weird ass tangent.
We're terrible.
We are terrible people. You know who's also terrible? David Cage. I agree with it, Ariana.
David Cage. Okay, but hear me out on this.
Heavy Rain was beautiful.
No. Let me explain.
I liked that game. Like, I was okay with it. The facial animations were really bad, though.
You played... Okay. If you're talking about Detroit Become Human, you played, like, the game where everybody came in and was like, David, you've made some shit, so we're hiring people to help keep you in line, and he's like, I have this twist ending, and they're like, no, shut up, you don't have any twist. We're not letting you do that shit again. Get out of here with that idea.
Por my pepino,
I mean, it
boludo.
was like
But what
I
if
played Heavy Rain.
Jason was the killer?
What? No, do you know how Heavy Rain ends?
Yeah, I saw it. I played it.
Yeah,
The
how did it
fucking
end?
bullshit that was. It's the fucking cop. Like,
Yeah, the whole
David, you
time.
fucking hawk. And
I
then,
knew
like,
that it was the whole time. Like it's like you know, like
and look, Omicron, to be fair, is just an unplayable mess. There's a reason why I think it was on the Dreamcast. It's just a fucking unplayable mess. Fahrenheit is just
Trash.
god awful. Just god awful.
Say
Two
basura.
Souls, like Two Souls starts off interesting and is like an interesting idea of like basically it's a little girl with a ghost friend and like she can kind of control it but not really. Like sometimes it goes on a rampage and breaks things and like the military wants to use her, kind of like in Stranger Things where they're like, we're gonna use 11 psychic abilities, you know?
and like what's that other game with Ellen Page?
That's Two Souls. That's Beyond Two
Okay,
Souls.
Beyond Two Souls. Yeah.
Like I said, it starts off interesting, and then David comes in, and he's like, guys, I figured it out. She's gonna go meet a Native American boy and have a spiritual adventure, and then kiss him on the motorbike. And you're like, David, what? Why do you shoot yourself in the foot constantly? Can't you make one damn decent game? Please, David. And then the balls on this man, because I think it's Heavy Rain or it's fucking Indigo Prophecy, that he comes out and he's like, you are going to experience a cinematic masterpiece. And he's just talking to you in the beginning, and you're just sitting there like, get the fuck off the screen. Hate it. I hate it.
He wants you to ingrain his memory of him in your eyelids. So every time you go to sleep, you see him.
But imagine this hack director that sits there and talks directly to you.
That's what it looks like while you're sleeping.
Oh my god! you're so Ariana. When you describe exactly that, when a director just talks directly to you. When you say how David Cage makes all these last few garbage games, except for Detroit Become Human, you remind me of M. Night Shyamalan when he made Avatar: The Airbender.
Exactly.
Can you do a favor? Can you repeat that last name? M. Night what?
M. Night
I
Shyamalan.
can't.
You leave him alone.
I can't. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Whatever. He
M. Night
he did-
Shyamalan
That's
the Llama.
problematic.
he doesn't deserve to get his name spoken correctly because he butchered a show that was just great and beyond its years. Like to this very day, it's still relevant. The lessons in that show also is like still very relevant. And he butchered a movie, and now it's up to Netflix to pick up the pieces and somehow put a decent show together.
And that's what David Cage does. He comes out, he talks to you like if his games are so amazing. He talks about how games need to be more cinematic, and then you go back and you just see Heavy Rain and you see Jason, and you're like,
Jason.
and you realize it can break, and you can just scream Jason forever, and then you have
Jason.
there's straight up a big fight in Heavy Rain.
Hey, you should leave David Cage alone.
No. There's a
No.
straight up fight in Heavy Rain where you can not hit any button and completely fail it, but you succeed in the end.
Yeah, I've seen ones like that.
And you sit here and the balls on this man to come out and be like, this game is amazing, and you're like,
Yo, Ariana's comment and then Migs in the back.
that's what it is. That's the game. And then the best part is this fucking idiot of a
This
character
guy's on
loses his
drugs.
son
The cop.
in the mall. No, the best part is this dude loses his son in the mall, and his son gets hit by a car at the beginning of Heavy Rain. But the car's not going fast. The car has plenty of time to stop. The father grabs the son and puts himself between him and the vehicle, but the kid still dies.
I
And you're just
remember
sitting there
that.
like,
Wait.
It shouldn't be funny, but it's hilarious to me.
it's fucking
Jason, no.
It's so bad. Like, God, David Cage is a hack.
Poor guy.
You have to look for the
Okay,
balloon.
So we're putting David Cage in like the trash Hall of Fame, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a first inductee. Let's start off a list. All right, and this is the list that we're gonna add in as this podcast goes on.
But I can't be like the only one where like a director has made or break a game for you, because like I won't lie, when I saw the trailer for Detroit Become Human, I was like, wow, this looks pretty interesting. And then the second David Cage's fucking name came out, I was like, oh no, I'm not playing this garbage. Fool me once, shame on you, David Cage. Fool me
But he will be the
twice.
first one, the first inductee, the Hall of Fame of
Hall of
trash.
Fame.
Okay,
Yes.
quick single death elimination. Peter Molyneux or David Cage?
Oh shit.
Peter
David Cage.
Molyneux.
You have
I
to-
just have
you have to
right
kiss one
away.
on the lips.
Shit.
Peter Molyneux.
Can I kill myself?
It's moist.
There's no
What
third
What
option.
does Peter Molyneux look like?
Look him
Looks
up.
like a rat. Oh no, sorry.
He looks like one of the aliens from Men in Black. Let's be honest.
'Cause he just looks moist, like he was rehydrated.
I'm looking it up.
Did you just call
Oh
him
goodness.
moist? Did you call him moist?
I call him moist, like he
I'm
rehydrated
uncomfortable.
himself.
I don't like the way they either of them. I don't like either of them.
They're both equally as terrible. Trust me.
Hey,
Yeah.
just so you can take a look, buddy. That's what we're talking about.
I know. I looked them up.
That's Nosferatu from that '80s film.
Oh goodness. It's Lord Voldemort. Just kidding. That's mean. I feel bad now. Immediate,
No, you don't.
immediate
Look at
guilt.
Look at him. You.
He looks like a completely shaven version of the bad guy from The Mummy.
Oh God.
He looks
Okay,
like,
enough.
he
Let's
looks
stop
like a
picking on
left
directors.
nut missing the right one.
No, stop, enough.
And we're back to Bolua.
It all comes back.
The bean.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Brian's gonna be on tomorrow with Final Fantasy IX, right?
Damn right. It's about time we find out what happened to Burmecia and what happened with the Queen of Alexandria.
I
Bruh.
know.
Don't tell me. I told you guys that when I picked up Quina in the farmlands, that's where I stopped. That's where I stopped in Final Fantasy. I never went past that. So anything that's happening after that, about the black mages and things like that, it's just like, what?
Final Fantasy IX is great. Remember to level up your physical attackers.
Oh,
And Quina
they're
can be-
buff. Well, I'm trying to level up my white mage right now, and my black mage so they can stop being squishy. That's my problem.
If you ever need tips, because I've beaten the game and I have like the strategy guide ingrained in my brain, you let me know. I'm just giving you some quick tips I know off the top of my head. Quina is MVP. If you put time into her, she will be your MVP.
I will remember this.
Like I said, level up that physical party, boy. You need that physical party up there. Keep them strong. You'll thank me later.
Bunch of them.
Also, try not to use summons on pointless BS, because the first time you summon them, they're the strongest.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just a FYI.
Wait, they get weaker every time?
No, it's that it's essentially the first time you summon them, they're guaranteed like to be
Yeah,
their
win.
highest damage.
Yeah.
After that, they kind of have like a range of where they can go, but just don't summon them for pointless BS. Just summon them when you need them.
Final Fantasy X was kind of like that when you start getting the Aeons. They kind of force you to summon them to see how they work. But that's when they're kind of like the most badass, because after that they're like one flick, you're like, ow, I'm gonna go home.
Ifri gets hit by fire. I don't like this, Mom. Please.
Summoner.
All right.
Stay away from the summoner.
I love that quote.
So Brian with more FF9. I'll be back on Tuesday with Metro. Hopefully that'll be like near end or end. Wednesday, Maddie, you're still doing Devil May Cry?
Yes, we are gonna be playing some more Devil May Cry. I don't know if you guys like were able to tune in last week, everybody, but there was like a really epic dance scene with Dante.
Yeah.
And it came out of left field, and I was just not ready for it. I was just like floored. I'm ready for more.
And then Gio, how you feeling about Cuphead?
Fuck the dragon dude, man. Like, like if you guys watched the last time, I completed the freaking chicken. Then I did the running stage with the cars going all over the place, and Jesus Christ. My objective is to beat the dragon so I can finally move on to aisle 3. So hopefully that is what happens on Thursday.
And then more Shadowbringers too, right, Ari?
Oh yeah. Throughout the week, we're gonna see when we can start. I wanted to do it today, and then I kind of remembered about the podcast. I was like, no.
No.
But we'll see. I'm excited because we're kind of getting to the point where I don't know anything anymore. Like, I knew some spoilers. I'm getting to the point where I don't know anything, so I'm like. Also, Ranger in a dress is.
Nice. All right, well, that's gonna be it. Please like, comment, subscribe on all our channels, so you can pick the channel of your choice. Right now, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and you can pretty much get a picture of that off of our webpage for Facebook. But more importantly, we have a new logo. Woo!
Dun, dun, dun.
So check out the new logo. Let us know if you like it. We all think it's a step up from the
That's
the two images I pasted together and colored in like 12 seconds on Microsoft Paint. So yeah, let us know if you like it, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful time. Take care of yourself.
Good night.
Is it safe yet?